Shalom, giving all praise to YAHAWASHI. This is going to be a quick one, super quick. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this Update to David is Ruddy. What does ruddy really mean? Now, in this particular video, short video, 15, not even 16 minutes long, so it's a quick video. So what I mentioned in the video, I believe I mentioned, I normally mention the Bible Hub, the commentary. So I said, let me go to that. And so this is 1 Samuel 17, verse 42. That's where Vocab was reading from. As you can see, 41, 42. So I said, let me go see what the Bible Hub says. So I went to Cambridge Bible schools, for schools and colleges, and there's nothing there. It said he disdained him. See Proverbs 16:18. Proverbs 16:18 says, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Didn't go into it. Come on, we're dealing with a whole verse right here. They didn't want to touch it. So I said, let me look at Benson commentary. So this is 1 Samuel 17, 42 to 43. He disdained him. He had looked about, expecting to meet some tall, strong man, but when he saw what a mean figure he made with whom he was to engage, he disdained him and thought it below him to enter the list with him, fearing that the contemplacidness of the champion, meaning the disrespect, matter of fact, let me look that word up. Let me go to the Google. Let me look that word up. Let's get into that word. Objective. If you feel that someone or something is contemptible, you feel strong dislike and disrespect for them. It was like, I'm gonna fight this little wimp. That was the attitude. Contemptiveness. Hard to say. Matter of fact, let me do this. I'm gonna go to the proper way of saying it. It's not my first language, Let me say meaning. Let's go to meaning. Okay.
Contemptible.
Contemptible, but the word is contemptibleness. Contemptibleness. When the judge says you're held in contempt of court, that means you disrespected the court. And the head of the court is the judge, so you disrespected the judge. So, where am I? Contemptibleness, please forgive me, of the champion. Like, this is disrespectful. You sending me this little wimp to fight me? I'm a warrior. I'm used to fighting other warriors. This guy's a stripling. He's a little young guy. And I'll backhand this guy. That's what he meant by ruddy. He wasn't, when he said ruddy, he didn't mean, well, the scripture says ruddy. He didn't, actually, the Hebrew word which is a word I believe it goes back to the, Edom, meaning red. But it wasn't talking about his color. He didn't get mad at him because of his color. He got mad at him because he was tender, young. He was a stripling. Not he looked to be not experienced in war. Of the champion with whom he contended would lessen the glory of the victory. In other words, I want to fight somebody my size. I want a real challenge here. For he was a youth of a fair continent. It has nothing to do with the color he was. Not having so much as the countenance of a martial person, meaning a warrior, an experienced warrior. He said, am I a dog? Dost thou think to beat me as easily as thou wouldst thy dog? The Philistine cursed David by his gods. He said, you sent me this little wimp. Look at this little wimp. Man, get out of here. Go home. Go back home to your mother. That's what it means, Vocab Malone. And obviously, Benson Commentary got it correct. Cambridge Bible for schools and colleges didn't even want to touch it. That's what it meant. Like I said years ago, I said, you should sue that theological cemetery that you paid so much money to go in. They taught you these goddamn lies. These are fellow Christians, so-called experts of the Bible. Oh boy. Okay, for he was but a youth. His age was one reason why he despised him, being as before observed about 20 years of age and not come to his full strength. He could have been younger than that. A stripling, and I use that term stripling in the video that I did. A stripling, as he is called in 1 Samuel 17 and 56. Another reason follows. Let's go to 1 Samuel 17 and 56. Then I'm going to look up the word stripling. It had nothing to do with him being red. He didn't say, you're blue, I'm not going to fight you. Or you left-handed, I'm not going to fight you. You come into war wearing sandals, I'm not going to fight you. You coming to fight me with an umbrella? I'm not going to fight you. Are you starting to get it, Vocab? This is why we don't take you seriously. Because you really don't understand the scriptures. And there's some Edomites that do understand the scriptures. Let's go right here. I already know what they're going to say. And the king said, inquire thou whose son the what? The stripling is. And as David returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, now this is after the fact, right? Oh, wait a minute, let me come back. Let me get on the same page. Right, it's the same chapter. It's chapter 17, but this is after he slew the giant. So King Saul said, inquire thou whose son the stripling. This young boy, he just beat this champion that all Israelite men in war were afraid to fight. That's why Goliath was boasting, because they was afraid to fight him. And then this young stripling comes along and said, I'll beat you, and it put through the power of the Most High YAHAWAH. So this guy said, you little wimp. They might say, well, see, Yeah, you beat him because look at how he was a young kid. You know, you don't beat up a guy. You're 6'5", 250 pounds, all muscle, and you fight a woman that's 5'2", 130 pounds, 120 pounds, and you beat her up and you put your hands up. People are gonna boo you, man. So that's the attitude that Goliath had. It says, and as David returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, the giant, Abner took him and brought him before Saul with the head of the Philistine in his hand. And Saul said to him, whose son art thou? Thou young man, you kid. And David answered, I am the son of thy servant Jesse, the Bethlehemite, because the Lord was born in Bethlehem, which is also known as the city of David. So now let's look up the word stripling. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up in the Hebrew first, then I'm gonna go into the English. I already know what it means, but let's see what the Hebrew says. Stripling. Oh, it says, Ilama, ha, Ilama, Ayalam, which means young. Young man. A lad. Now let's go to the Google. Let's deal with the word stripling. Okay, where did I find it? It says stripling. Where's stripling? Let me do it this way. Did I spell that wrong? Okay, stripling. Okay, I put S-T-I. Stripling. Let's find out what a stripling is. Stripling. Meaning. A young man, youth, adolescent, youngster, boy, schoolboy, lad, child. Let's go to the word adolescent. Define adolescent. Of a young person, whether male or female, in the process of developing from a child into an adult. When does that happen? When you're about 12 years old. So he could have been as young as 12, 13 years old. He wasn't a full grown man. That's why in the law of Israel, who went to war? It was men that were 20 years old or older. 19, 17, 18. They figured you, and that's when you stop growing. You fill out when you're about 20, 19, 20, 21 years old. When you're 20, 22, 25, you don't grow anymore. So a 20-year-old man, you could have an 18-year-old teenager that would most likely fill out a little bit more. That's why the Most High gave the Lord said to Moses, the men that fight in the war for Israel would have to be 20 years old. And it has nothing to do with little ones. Oh, little one is anything under 20. So a guy that's 19, Israelite that's 19 years old in the ancient world is a little one? Come on now. Anyway, I think I proved my point. Like I said, Vocab, try to get a good lawyer and get your money back. They saw you coming a mile away.